What's up everybody, Barrett here, and we are in an awesome series right now on YouTube where we're talking about crucial ingredients for a passionate, thriving relationship with Jesus. It's been awesome, you can check them out. Today's video is all about the Sabbath. Almost no one is doing a Sabbath. If you are, you're rare. But I want to encourage you and teach you how and all about why, because it will be incredibly life-giving for your life. So let's get into it. All right, what's up everybody? Like I said, my name is Barrett. Lifestyle Worldwide. You can check out barrettbogan.com, lifestyleuni.com, even lsmerch.com. We've got a clothing line. You can check out our lion. We've got a blog, all sorts of free resources. There's our online academy, LCA, Lifestyle Catalyst Academy. This is a paid resource to take you even deeper than you've ever been before, an online community. There's programs and courses, scripture memory, prayer and fasting, workout even. There's Bible studies, devos, courses. There is literally so much packed into LCA to take you deeper with faith and family and real life issues, okay? So check it out. There's a free 14-day trial just to make it really easy. If you don't like it within the first 14 days, then just quit for any reason and you won't be charged. But if you dig it, then keep it and then come and learn and grow with us in LCA. We would love to have you. All right, so let's get into the Sabbath. What is a Sabbath and why in the world are we talking about it? I mean, nobody does the Sabbath, right? I mean, that's old news. That's back in the day, right? Isn't it? So all the way back, in the beginning, Genesis 1, God creates, right? And he makes things for 6 days straight, all this incredible stuff, just flinging planets and atmospheres and plants and animals into being and speaking it, and it's just like this incredible work, masterpiece. Then on the seventh day he rested, right? So then he commands Moses, and we're obviously fast forwarding to have a Sabbath, a rest day. You go all the way into the New Testament, and Jesus is talking to the Pharisees, and he's saying, hey, the Sabbath was created for you, not you for the Sabbath. And so people had gotten into this big ritualistic thing, like they were holy because they kept it when they weren't really keeping the other commands. And so Jesus was basically saying, hey, the Sabbath is still here, but it's for you, right? So let's unpack what a Sabbath is. Essentially, it is a 24-hour period of rest where you stop working, just like God did. Right? He modeled it for us. So you stop working, you don't do, nowadays for us, it's no paid work and no unpaid work. It's no work, it's no creating, it's no work, right? So essentially you do all of your prep beforehand. So meals, you can do that ahead of time, and any laundry you want to do ahead of time, or whatever it would be around the house. If you just want to have like a really restful day where it's not just resting, but it's restful, you might want to have the house kind of tidy ahead of time. I don't know, that's us. You can kind of do this how you want to, but essentially the Sabbath is just this incredible gift from God to us that so many of us are not reaping the benefits of, because for some reason we've got into this mode where we feel like actually we're self-made and we're on our own, and we kind of have to hustle and grind and hit the pavement and bring in the money, and we've got to do this in order to make a living. But essentially, without putting it into words, we're actually telling God and telling ourselves, God, I don't trust you enough to take you up on your whole Sabbath thing. That's one of the incredible benefits that I've found in practicing the Sabbath, taking a 24-hour rest period, a whole day every week, is I've found that there's this incredible sense of peace that, oh wait, it's not up to me to make the world go round. God is God, and He's got me. He's my provider. And you start to realize that on that day, but you also start to realize that the rest of the week because of it. And it's not just head knowledge, but it makes it into your heart, and you feel it because you're disciplining yourself to do nothing. And you're trusting that God is in control. You're stepping into His rest. You're stepping into His peace. You're stepping into obedience, which will make a way for a ton of things in your life, right? So let's get into some of the nitty-gritty. The Sabbath is, like I said, a 24-hour rest period. You don't work. And how do you do it? This is what Jessica and I do. And you can read some books on it. You can scroll down into the text below, and you'll see some book recommendations for this. But what we do is we have spent some time literally saying, for 4 words, what brings us rest, delight, connection, and joy, right? Rest, delight, connection, and joy, right? And so what brings me joy? What brings me delight? What brings me rest? What brings me connection? Okay? And I'm going to make essentially you're going to make a will and will not list. Okay? So you will do these things on the Sabbath, and you will not do these on the Sabbath. Yes, I mean, it's not legalistic. This is protecting health, right? This is soul health. There's boundaries to that kind of a thing. And so you are strict about these on purpose because that's what discipline is. So I will not do chores. I will not do paid work. I will not be on any phone screens or TV screens. We have a strict no screens rule for 24 hours. It's incredibly life-giving. And you go through and you make your list of things like I'm cutting this out on this day because it just doesn't bring me life. I'm cutting this out. And then you make your list of what brings you joy, what brings you delight, what brings you rest, what brings you connection. So the heart is to be rejuvenated, to come back to the center with connection with God, connection with each other, whether it's friends or family, depending on if you're single or if you're married. If you're single, it would be like your family, or it would be your friends or your community, your church group. If you're married, it could be some of that, but it could also just be your family, your marriage, your spouse, and you and your kids maybe. And so the point is to bring connection, right? Face to face, not just shoulder to shoulder, going the rest of the week, making things happen, but face to face now. Intimate connection, longer conversations, longer meal times. Go on hikes if that's life-giving for you. For us, some of ours are we go on hikes, we go on walks, we take naps, we read books, we have longer meal times. Obviously, we've prepared those meals the day before, and so it's incredible to just take it out and eat and just dine at the table together and laugh and talk and linger, and it is incredible, that connection. Also connection time with God. So you're talking prayer times together, prayer times on your own, just time in the Word, extended, not just daily devotion morning times, but maybe later in the afternoon you want to read Scripture again, spend some time with Jesus, go on a walk with the Lord, go on a hike with God like Jesus did, whatever it might be, right? So you make your list of things that are going to bring you delight, bring you connection to God and to the close nucleus family or friends, and joy and rest, right? These things that bring those. And the things that, if it doesn't pass that test, it's on the will not list, right? If and I highly recommend doing the 24-hour no screens rule because they're not restful. They're not bringing rest and rejuvenation to your life. It's just a zone out, sweep everything under the rug. You don't actually rest because you're putting entertainment in front of your face and then making your brain kind of do all this. There's no real rest. Okay, so I recommend 24-hour period, no screens. It will be so life-giving to you. A couple of the benefits that we've really found that's incredible is obviously you're obeying the Lord, so you feel like right with God and like that, you're living a pleasing and an aroma, and that's kind of worship to Him. Right? You can essentially think of it almost like a tithe tithing your time and tithing your next week almost, even though tithe is 1/10 and a day is 1/7. But the whole idea of like you're giving to the Lord what He's given to you, you're consecrating it, but also this idea of you're resting from work. And what you'll find is you begin then moving forward to be able to work from rest, which is way different from working from being burnt out because you're still working and you're still working and you're still working and you just keep working and you're burnt out and you're just dying for a vacation. And so this rhythm of life begins to be work, vacation. And that vacation isn't even pleasant because you're going back to this terrible rhythm that you hate. Instead, that's totally not God's design. The life-giving rhythm that God created includes work 6 days, or if we do a 5-day week and then maybe there's 1 day of housework and then the 7th day is no work. Whatever your model is and your culture and where you're at, transcending culture is this idea of God's culture that there is a Sabbath. And so we take our culture head on and say, no, we're not going to hustle and grind for 7 days. We're going to take a whole 24-hour period and obey the Lord and reap the benefits. And so, like I said, you begin to take that rest, and all of a sudden your next week, you're so rested and rejuvenated. It's incredible. You kind of look forward to going back to work, but then you look forward to the Sabbath every week. It's almost like this 1-day vacation every week that's incredible, and you look forward to it. And if you go to Israel today, people are stoked for the Sabbath. I mean, they're so excited that the Sabbath is coming. And that's just because it's this celebration, this ceremony, this remembering, this connection. And like I said, you move from shoulder to shoulder posture as a family or as friends or whatever, charging, marching, making things happen in the world. And now all of a sudden you turn and it's time for connection and rest and rejuvenation. Now, quick side note, the rest of the week is still for connection. I mean, you're still supposed to stay connected as friends, connected as a family, whatever it might be, but you're on a mission. Right? And God was on a mission. He spoke and He created and He did all these things, and He delegated to Adam and told Adam to speak and create and give animals names and use the creativity that the Creator gave creation, right? In His image, we've been given creativity, so Adam starts naming hippopotamus, platypus, giraffe, dog, whatever, panda bear. And whatever He named them, they became, right? But then God said, hey, you too. You rest, just like I did. I did it to model it to you. It's life-giving. It's in my nature. I want it to be in your nature. I want you to reap the benefits of this beautiful thing. And that's what Jesus was saying. It's for you. You're not a slave to it. It is here for you. And so obey it, walk in it, live in it, and you'll find way less anxiety. You'll find way more peace. You'll find that you have way more margin in life, and you actually teach yourself how to say no in a lot more circumstances that you should, how to say yes to the right things, no to the things that you should cut out, and your life begins to be healthier. You have this life-giving rhythm. There's so much to it. And I wrote an ebook all about life-giving rhythms, and so it's in the link below. You can download that. First chapter is for free in my free resource library on my blog. The link for that is below. If you want to buy the whole thing, the deluxe copy of the ebook, the link for that is below. Totally transform your life. And there's a ton of stuff actually in LCA to take you even deeper on this life-giving rhythms. It's a 21 video course actually on life-giving rhythms, core values, core disciplines, no matter what, that we're sort of basing this YouTube series off of, but it takes you even further there in LCA with the transformation and how to and why and some nuances, and it's powerful stuff. So those are some resources for you in the links down below. But yeah, that's an intro to Sabbath and kind of a reflection to way back when God created it in the first place and why. and hopefully unpacking some of those ideas for you so that Sabbath just isn't this crazy idea that you go through your whole Christian walk and never dive into this. I mean, you don't want a corner of the Christian walk that God said to do that you just don't touch, right? So it's like, okay, let's figure out the Sabbath thing. And that's what this video is all about. So hopefully it's been helpful for you. Hey man, if you have any questions, type it in the questions below, either on YouTube or on my blog, no matter where you're watching this. If you are on YouTube, then hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss the videos. We're coming out with new stuff all the time. But definitely hop over to my blog, barrettbogan.com. The link is obviously below because that's where the majority of the discussion is going to be, and obviously the big one that I talked about earlier, the free resource library. So I'm talking about PDFs, workbooks, checklists. There's tons of stuff packed in there, totally free for you guys to take you deeper into these life-giving principles. So all of that's available to you. If you have any questions, leave a comment below with your question. Let me know one of the biggest takeaways that you had from this video. Any topic requests or just questions that you have. We do Q&A all the time, so just ask away, and we'll hopefully do some videos in the future to answer whatever questions you have. Literally, there's not a topic that I haven't covered in the past, whether pastoring or in a video or whatever, and or maybe there's topics I haven't covered, but topics I haven't been willing to cover. If you got a question, spiritual, physical, mental, social, the world, hot topics, personally, whatever it might be, ask away, because we want you to be equipped as leaders and world changers, followers of God, to change the world the way that you're called to. Awesome. You are lions. You are leaders. You're world changers. You're called. And so meet the Lord with intentionality, just like He does with you. We're here for you, Lifestyle Worldwide. Jump into LCA to take your growth even deeper. Subscribe here on YouTube, like I said. Come to the blog. Just reiterating all these awesome resources for you because you're the bomb and we are making stuff for you all the time. Awesome. I love you. We love you. Barrett here signing off. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.